live, aren't I? Goodness gracious. Yeah, pardon the technical difficulties, folks. I'm still trying to get the hang of all this. Oh, this is a bunch of gobbledygook. It says I'm live. Okay. Am I on now? Yeah, it looks like I am. Okay, there we go. Now we got it going. So, hey everybody, welcome back to my art stream. It's been a good while, yeah. So yeah, no, it's been a bit busy. I've been doing a lot of Inktober. That's been a lot of fun. I've actually beat my high score since last year. It's not it's a pretty low hurdle since I only made it 3 days, but hey, that's okay. But right now, I'm gonna get back to work on what is it? That illustration that I'm doing for a book, which I believe is called. Actually, let me look it up, make sure I have the correct name. One moment, please. Oh my goodness, I really should be more prepared with this stuff. That's okay though. Now versus Then Childhood Art Book. That's, well, at least that's the title that was given to me in the email. So we are going to be working on, oh goodness, here we go. We're going to be working on this gentleman right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That was me from probably age 17. I was not very good in high school. But I'm much better now. At least I like to think so. No, who am I kidding? I am much better than that. Oh my god. So yeah, last week we did start with some line art here. Line art's okay, but I'm not feeling that post. I think I'm gonna start from scratch, and yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see where it takes me. So I'm gonna go ahead and change your opacity a little bit low, so that way I can at least still see you. And oh, hopefully I won't get too much of a hollow mirrors effect there. And I'm gonna go back and look me up some reference. So I think for now, I'm just going to do a couple of very quick face sketches to see how this guy is going to play out. So we're going to click on this guy here for some uniform reference. This guy here for some face reference. Ooh, definitely not that action figure. That looks. Whoa. I would certainly not call that flattering. Oh, this guy's here. This guy here is real badass. Alright, we got some good reference now. That's what we're looking for. Fighter pilot uniforms. Now let's see. The real question is, which one do I want? You can go with either left or right, but we'll figure it out. Alright, let's get back to our work here. So yeah, this character of mine from when I was a wee lad of 17 years, if you'll recall, has an incredibly grimdark, weeaboo fantasy story behind him. Basically, he survived, well, basically he witnessed the dropping of the bombs on Hiroshima or Nagasaki. I forget exactly which one I decided on, but Let's just say both, for funsies, to make it extra bad and extra cringy. And he has sworn revenge on the United States, and now he's got a bunch of super cool radiation powers that may or may not have to do with lightning. And yeah, that's about all I remember from this guy. But that's not going to be the news story. The news story is probably going to be something a little less, well, a lot less cringy. I went over this in the last stream that when I started working on this guy. I think what I decided was basically I still want to keep the dropping of the bombs part of it. One second, let me adjust my brush spacing a little bit so it's not quite so laggy. It's a little better. I still want to keep the atom bomb as part of it, but it's definitely going to be going to be a war. He was involved in a war of global scale, but not World War II. Damn it, Wacom drivers, you are the worst. Not World War II specifically. It'll basically take place on Earth, but let's say an alternate history Earth where things are similar, but not as they are in the present, just to avoid any potential political, I don't know, faux pas, I guess you could say. And yeah, we'll just go from there. Oh yeah, so as far as how his bomb accident happened, basically the way I'm imagining it was he was actually en route to drop nukes on somewhere else, but he was shot down above one of his own cities, and naturally when the plane crashed, the nuke went off. He miraculously survived because he ejected, right beforehand. But he has to bear the weight of and the guilt of having killed many of his own people. Not on purpose, obviously, but survivor's guilt, man. It's a real thing, let me tell you. So that's more or less the story I'm going with right now. I'll pretty it up later, and get it on writing and edit it so it's a little bit more structured. But for now, it's a good starting point for just something that I sort of, I don't know, ad-libbed based on something much crappier. So I'm just gonna keep this pretty quick because I want to get to the body sketch. Like right now, I just want to figure out what his face looks like because I don't know. For me, one of the things I like to do is I like to figure out what my character's face looks like, because what his face looks like, I mean, like that to me is one of the most important things. I mean, that's the one when you're talking to somebody, that's what you look at. That's what at least that's what you're supposed to look at anyway. If you don't want to be rude. But it's what informs at least me a lot about what my character is going to be like. How he's going to present himself, all that fun stuff. So okay. So if you notice that when I'm doing my strokes here, every once in a while I'll get like a very thick 100% opacity stroke, and I've noticed that while it does happen when I'm just working regularly, when I'm not streaming, it definitely seems to happen more often when I am streaming. So I'll need to figure out exactly what that situation is. I still haven't. I should probably update my drivers and see if that helps any. Spoilers, probably won't because it hasn't in the past. Anyway. Let's see, that nose looks a little bit more Caucasian, so we want to make sure it looks Asian. So a little bit softer on the ridge there. straight line. There we go. Oh, see, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. And I got 2 strokes there. Look, what do you do? Alright, so that's good. Now, I'm gonna go with the hairstyle that I had going here, which is sort of just like very, very flat. Because remember, this man here has been exposed to very unhealthy amounts of radiation with no protection. So we'll assume his hair is not exactly in good shape. Now, granted, I don't want him to look like he just underwent chemo, even though that's probably that's realistically, I guess, what would happen. Maybe, I don't know. I have not been exposed to nuclear radiation, so I can't say for sure. But we'll just take artistic license with it, because that's the cool thing about being an artist. Now, one thing we can do is, okay, so in my original sketch here, let me bring it up real quick. Actually, here, let me do this so we can. So I have a big one. Turn on and off, and I'll have this one over here at 20% that I can just reference whenever I need to. So yeah, so a couple of things that I might change around. So. So we have one of his arms is bandaged up, and if I recall, that is the arm that he used to channel his cool lightning powers and whatnot, right? Excuse me. And then this eye here, with the goggle, eye patch, I suppose. I believe it let him see like stuff that you can't normally see with regular eyesight. What the specifics of that, lost in time, whatever, right? But what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have these on the same side, because I'm gonna assume that, let's say, the left side of his body took the brunt of the radiation. Again, probably doesn't work like that in real life, but hey, I don't care. Artistic license, suck it. So. I'm probably gonna give him some cool, maybe some cool burn scars here on the left side of his face. Really ruined my flow, man. Give me 1 second while I check on the channel, see if anyone has decided to join us. Nope. Just be myself a minute. That's fine though. Now you notice I'm just keeping this like real. Like my brush is pretty big right now. Look at that. It's 45 pixels wide. And of course I do that stuff just so I don't get too caught up in the details here. Now, I'm going to look up some burn scars, but I'm going to do you all a favor and do that on my phone so the squeamish among you aren't made too uncomfortable. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Oh, we got a lot of makeup. I don't want makeup, I kind of want the real thing here. think I found a pretty good one here. That is going to go all the way down to his neck. And maybe we can give him some like cool like veins that are kind of showing up on parts of his face here. So now there's the issue of the goggle eye patch. I'm going to pop that in on the second layer. Now, I mentioned this in the last video. I promise you, I did not play Skies of Arcadia when I came up with this guy. I didn't even know Skies of Arcadia was a thing at the time. I'm going to try and keep that anyway. I think I tried it last time, and it looked kind of goofy because I tried to look up what an actual aviator's goggle looked like. And it's much bigger. See, because what I drew here is more akin to just like a freaking swimmer's goggle. So we could do this a couple of ways. Let's bring up these goggles again. There we go. So, I think the first time I tried it, I had it on like this. But that looks more like someone was messing with his goggles. So let's try. Let's try like this to see if it helps. This is anyway.
É um peixe, é um gesto, é uma prata brilhando, é a luz da manhã, é o tijolo chegando, é a lenha, é o dia, é o fim da picada, é a garrafa de cana, o estilhaço na estrada, é o projeto da casa, é o corpo na cama, é o carro enguiçado, é a lama, é um passo, é uma ponte, é um sapo, é uma rã, é um resto de mar, uma luz da manhã, são as águas de março, fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida no teu coração, é pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho, é o resto de pouco, é um pouco sozinho, é uma cobra, é um pau, é João, é José, é um espinho na mão, é um corte no pé, são as águas de março, fechando o verão, é a promessa de vida no teu coração, é pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho, é o resto de pouco, é um pouco sozinho, é um passo, é uma ponte, é um sapo, é uma rã, é um belo horizonte, uma febre
here, so
de
see it a little bit better.
é promessa de vida no teu coração, é pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho, é o resto de pouco, um pouco sozinho, é pau, é pedra, é o fim do caminho, é o resto de pouco.
It's definitely an odd shape, I'll tell you that much. It did have it obscure his eye because it was cracked. Let's go ahead and paint that over. And we'll go ahead and get a nice crack there. Probably give it something a little bit more realistic once we get down to the real rendering, but that'll do for now. I'm not feeling it. If anything, it just looks like someone just threw a pair of goggles on his head now. So, I'm determined to make this work, so I'm going to turn this off just to keep it handy. A little closer. There we go, that's good enough. So, what if they were snapped and maybe had to kind of jury rig them a little bit, Heck, instead of having it be diagonal, you have this. And this right here is, oh, come on, there we go. This right here is exactly what we're looking for. And that's actually those are some pretty big honkin' glasses. I think here they are again. Styrofoam head. That's going to help us out a little bit. So, these guys. Something like that. So we have one string like that. Maybe another one that runs down. His face like that. It looks a little awkward still, but it's a lot less awkward than our previous attempts. I'm actually gonna get rid of one over here and say it gets him, someone that gets him behind his hair there. Now I have to wonder what kind of adventures a character like this would go on. I mean, his like the one thing that could be a source of his motivation is his guilt. right? Get guilt. I mean, you could get revenge on the people who shot him down. But I don't know. That doesn't quite sit right with me. Heck, maybe he could just be an outright villain, you know? Sort of a well-intentioned villain. Maybe his goal is to halt the proliferation of nuclear weapons because he has experienced firsthand their devastation. I don't know what a guy like this would do, honestly. Such is the product of a teenage edgelord. A teenage weeaboo edgelord.